Retire in your 20s or 30s and never work a day in your life again. Sounds amazing, right? Wrong. I retired at 25 and I shit you not, it made me depressed. Now, I'm only making this video because I want to give an alternative perspective on this whole retire early movement that seems to be very popular. And before you guys are like,
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That's not what it means. It just means you can quit your 9 to 5 and never have to work that again. No one takes that literally. Well, I took that literally. Damn! And I'm sure there's a lot of people just like me who are watching these kind of videos who do as well too. Now, I wanted to make this video for a while, but I just recently watched a Jordan Welch video where he was talking about selling his software company and how he was kind of feeling empty afterwards. And I thought it was really honest and a perspective that a lot of entrepreneurs understand, but is rarely talked about out there because people want to hear how great it is and how amazing it is and that there's no downside to it. Like, I thought that was the whole flex, right? You build your businesses and you build your assets to a point to where they're cash flowing for you and you never have to worry about working ever again. Like, I bought into it completely and I loved it. When girls would ask me what I did, I would tell them I was retired and they loved that answer. And I loved the fact that they loved that answer. So I was totally bought into the whole, yeah, I'm retired, I don't work anymore. And that's the goal, I've made it. But I'm here to tell you that it's not. Now, I'm not telling you to not go out there and hustle and earn money and build and grind and create and build a life for yourself that's amazing and where you can do amazing things and buy the cars and go to the dinners and hang out with the girls, because I did all those things. So I'm not telling you don't do that. What I'm simply telling you is retirement is not the goal. And I'm going to explain all that in this video. So the story starts in summer of 2020 when I decided I wanted to move to LA from my small town in Illinois. I really wanted to move because I wanted to grow as an individual, wanted to experience new things, meet new people, and really test my mettle in one of the biggest cities in the world, one of the most competitive cities in the world. And I had a lot of connections from doing music back in the day of people who lived in LA who were connected, and I leaned on them quite a bit when I got there. Almost instantly, the move was bearing fruit. I was meeting influencers and YouTubers and athletes and rappers and OnlyFans girls. And mind you, at the time, I had a shoe wholesaling business that was doing multiple 6 figures per month, as well as a real estate business that was in the process of getting fully systemized out, wholesaling, flipping, holding rental properties. So I was making quite a bit of money and I was really ready to enjoy my time in a new city. So because it was LA in 2020, the entire city was shut down except for the party scene. It was crazy. And because of my connections, I started going to $50 million mansions, partying with awesome people, meeting beautiful women, making dope friends. And it was a really great time. And I really understood that in this city, this is the way that networking is done for the most part. So if you remember 2020, you understand how everything was going up in prices. Real estate, crypto, shoe market. So my shoe wholesaling business was able to increase its revenue by quite a bit without me actually doing much of anything other than taking advantage of the market opportunities. And because my real estate business also started doing better, I was making quite a bit of money at the time, with maybe spending 10 hours per week dealing with the business as I was getting everything fully systemized out for the first time as an entrepreneur. So I started going hard with my boys. I'm talking about 4, 5, 6 times a week. We were partying, networking, meeting people, hanging out, having a good time, just being young, rich, and enjoying ourselves in a new city. But as my businesses started needing me less and less to function, me as a serial entrepreneur, my body started feeling like this weird kind of anxiety, trying to figure out, okay, what are we doing next? What are we putting our days into? What are we grinding for next? I really just wanted to enjoy my time and be able to relax and kind of experience life on a different level. So what I did next was probably the worst mistake I've ever made. I went upstairs I looked into a mirror, and I mean, I literally looked myself in the mirror and told myself this. I said, "You're retired. Relax. Everything is fine. You're enjoying yourself. Just calm down." And I had to put myself in a literal passive state because my natural inclination was telling me, no, it's time to grind. It's time to go. And I was bought into the whole retire early. I'm making plenty of money. I'm doing it correctly. And I've made it. I've succeeded. I've reached the end of the journey. And what I realize reflecting now back at that moment is when you're somebody who can even consider the concept of retiring early, like you're a grinder, you're a hustler, you've had to go through years of making no money because you love the thing you're doing, you're passionate about the process, that it's fun to you. You really enjoy it. And you become kind of addicted to the thrill of pursuing that. And when you stop it, your body doesn't stop craving that thrill. You just start putting your energy into unproductive things to give yourself that fix. I've realized you can have fun doing productive things, and you can have a lot of fun also doing destructive things. And if you have nothing productive to put your energy and your drive towards, you're going to default to doing the destructive things. And when you're young and you have a lot of money, it only amplifies what you're able to do. And if you're doing destructive things, now you're doing them at a really high level. Versus if you choose to do productive things, you're gonna be doing those to a really high level. That's why I wanna get across the message of don't see retirement as this end goal that you're so desperately chasing. Like when I look back at my entrepreneurial journey of 14 years, all of my favorite moments, all of my best, exciting, thrilling, fulfilling moments come from the times where I wasn't making any money. It was just at that point where your momentum starts to be heading in the right direction and you can feel it and you know you're winning and you know you're doing something right and you just love getting in there every day and you love doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like when I did music, there were times I would be recording all day, 8-10 hours, and my laptop crashes. And I never once got frustrated. I almost got excited, like, hell yeah, I get to do all that again. I was about to be done, but now I get to do it all again for another 10 hours. And those are some of the best moments of my life. And I didn't realize that until after you get to the end and you realize that the money that you get is just a byproduct of the love and the passion and the work ethic that you have for the thing that you're doing. The money is fun because you get to drive the cars and you get to travel and you get to have the experiences with your friends and the people that you love, and you get to meet all these beautiful women and do all the things. But none of it fulfills you. None of it excites you as much as those times in which you're in the trenches really working. So after like a year of doing this, I had to look at myself again in the mirror and ask myself, is this really that much fun anymore? Are we really doing this because we're having fun? Or are we doing this because we're missing something? And this is the only thing that we do to fill our time that provides us some sort of feeling. And it was an honest conversation I had to have with myself, but it was extremely important because it made me look in the mirror and realize that I wasn't happy. Over that year, I was developing extremely bad habits. I was drinking, I was prioritizing women, I was playing a ton of video games, and I wasn't working towards anything, which is what I like to do, which is what makes me happy, which is what's fun to me. But what I didn't realize was that whole year that I took off, it set me back because I lost the momentum I had. I developed bad habits, and I forgot what it took to really get in there and grind and build something. Because I had money, I started throwing it at the newest trendy opportunities, whether it was NFTs, whether it was meme coins, whatever it was. I just threw money at it because I had looked at myself as, I've scaled a couple of businesses. No longer can I allow myself to get back in the trenches, do the grunt work, do the leg work. I'll just pay somebody to do that. But the problem is, that's the key fundamental passion that is required in entrepreneurship to win and succeed in the first place. And on top of that, it allows you to make the mistakes and really understand what you're trying to do, what business you're pursuing, what the ins and outs of it are, what the problems are. Because only then can you actually successfully hire people to start fulfilling the roles that you need them for. So I'm throwing money at ideas I really have no idea about, and of course they're not succeeding. And when they don't succeed, I'm thinking, oh, well, it must not be a good idea, on to the next one. And so I was doing that for a while, and I wasn't having any successes, which was foreign and uncomfortable to me, because anything I've ever done before, I've built it up from the ground and it's worked and it's succeeded because I'm able to passionately work at something. But now I'm doing it this way and nothing seems to be working. So it was like an ego shot to me. I was wondering what's going on. So I had to hit the good old self-reflection mirror once again and ask myself, why am I not succeeding? What's going on here? What's wrong? And I realized that, like, dude, you've just lost your touch. And I realize now, looking at that moment and reflecting on it, that there is no stagnation. The natural way of things is to trend down. Gravity brings all things down, and it works for objects in real life, and it works for work ethic, and it works for sales. The natural law is for gravity to bring things down. And so I realized that I had lost my touch. I wasn't as sharp as I was before. So what I did to get myself back into that mode was look at myself and say, it's over. I'm done with the partying. I'm done with the drinking. I'm done with the girls. I got to get back into it because none of that is making me happy. I felt empty with all this money, doing all this empty stuff. And so what I did was I threw myself at the bottom of the totem pole. I was making cold calls for my wholesaling business. Again, I was calling people, dealing with rejections, sharpening up my sales skills, just getting back in the mode of being able to grind and deal with problems. And I just want to be clear about what my point is. Make a lot of money, drive the nice cars, eat at the expensive restaurants, travel to the nice places, meet the beautiful women, because it's all part of it. Have fun and enjoy yourself, but do not see retirement as this goal, as what you're striving for, as this lifestyle that you are trying to obtain, because it's the grind that you love. It's the creating daily. It's the problem solving. That's what you love. I promise you. You may think that what you really love is the idea of the lifestyle, but let me tell you, once you get it, it's cool for a minute and then it becomes extremely vapid. If you're even the type of person, again, who can consider retiring early, that means you're gonna have to go through so much work that you either love it, or if you didn't, you would fail and you wouldn't even be able to have this conversation with yourself. I was lucky enough to be raised next to my grandfather, who was an incredible and impressive man. He worked essentially every day up until he was 92 when he passed away. He was a world-renowned anthropologist, brilliant man, and he told me, there's a million things I could have done in this world that would have made me more money. But I chose what I do because I love it. I can't get enough of it. I'm interested in it. When I wake up, I think about solving the problems that I haven't solved over my 60-year career. Do what you love every day until you can't possibly do it anymore. That's the real game right there. If you do that, you'll make millions and millions and maybe even billions of dollars, because that's all it takes. The people that are extremely rich and successful, they love what they do. They do it every day because they like the thrill of it. They're interested in it. It makes them feel alive. The money, that's just a byproduct of being a high performance person. When I think of retirement, I think of that SpongeBob episode where Mr. Krabs sells the Krusty Krab to some mega conglomerate, and he goes golfing and he goes to the museum and he does everything he wants to do, and he's laying in bed like, it's not even noon yet. And I can tell you, that's honestly how it feels. What are you gonna do with your day if you're not working? If you're not creating, if you're not building? That's how you get your value as a man. That's how you feel successful and fulfilled as a man, is by going out there, working, competing in the marketplace, proving yourself. And I don't want entrepreneurs who are starting their journey to think that the end is the goal. Doing nothing is the goal. Never working again is the goal. The goal is to keep it going as long as you possibly can at a high level. Why do you think athletes make $300, $400 million in their career and then they go on TV and they become an anchor? They don't need the money. Think about how long they worked before they were even paid a cent. These people love working. They love performing, being the best. And I don't want anybody to fall trap to the same thing that I did. Now, if you like this video, drop a like. leave a comment. I certainly want to hear your perspective and opinion on this, but this is just mine. And I feel like it's a perspective that is rarely shared in this entrepreneurial space. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.